mental health or PTSD, etc., suffer with hypervigilance as one of the...
Ricky, brother, great post. Thank you for sharing this and raising awareness about this. I have hypervigilance as a result of CPTSD and basically my time in the military and as a cop. And it's devastating. It's debilitating. It's definitely what helped contribute to my alcoholism, and my social anxiety. But there are things you can do to mitigate how much this affects you. One of the things I like to do before I go somewhere new, like for instance, a couple weeks ago, my wife and I went to go see Pete Davidson, the stand-up comedian from Saturday Night Live, and at the venue has a floor plan. So I knew exactly where I was seated, was able to pick my seats, and I could tell where all the bathrooms were, where the exits were. I had clear eyes on everybody, and that really helped me to sort of drop that hypervigilance to somewhat of a manageable level. Now, like you're talking about when you go to a restaurant, most restaurants have a blueprint and a seating chart at the head of the restaurant. One of the things I like to do is I'll look at that and start looking not only where the hard points are, where the exits are, all that kind of shit, but I'm looking for the table that I want that is going to make me feel the safest. So one of the other tricks that I use when it comes to dealing with my hypervigilance to make it more manageable when I go out, all right, is something called alternative or opposite thoughts. So one of the things that causes me to be hypervigilant when I go out is that before I go out, I'm convinced that something is going to happen to me when I leave the house. All right. And the more often I go out, the more likely something like that is to happen to me. So that understandably creates a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of tension, and that all contributes to my hypervigilance. But what I introduce is something called alternative or opposite thoughts. So I believe that the more times I leave the house, the more likely I am to experience something traumatic, all right? Now, I have to remember that just like when you play a slot machine, every time you pull that handle, your odds of winning do not increase. They remain the same no matter how many times you pull the handle, and no matter when that thing won or how many people won before, the odds remain the same. And so I tell myself that the odds remain the same, that, I'm not going to experience something when I leave my house, when I leave my place of safety. So by just doing a little bit of reconnaissance before I go out and, a bit of a pep talk to myself, I can definitely bring my hypervigilance down to like manageable levels. It's not that I don't experience it, but the severity and the frequency is not as often. Ricky, thanks again for dropping this post, and I hope that it manages to help some of our brothers and sisters that are in the same situation that we are. Take care, brother. Much love and respect.